Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. This de novo is a disaster. Not sure how the landlord won the first time around. But today he meets Judge Mogen. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
We will go on the record in the matter 25 SC 185, Susidic Properties LLC versus Kimberly Cherry and Stanley Cherry. Appearances are we have both Kimberly and Stanley Cherry appearing in person without counsel. We do have Rob Susidic appearing by video conferencing with approval of the court. He represents Susidic Properties LLC. This is a de novo hearing. The parties were in front of Commissioner on November 13th, 2025, in which the Commissioner did grant the eviction. The Cherries filed for a de novo hearing, which means it starts anew. It starts from the beginning. We're here for an eviction matter, and it would be, I'm going to have all parties please raise your right hands. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Susidic, this is your case. You may begin.
Yeah, I'm just requesting eviction because I have not received any rent payments since December of last year.
Okay, is that all? That's all you want me to go off of?
I guess I don't know what else to say. They're living there
Well,
illegally now. They haven't
You
paid
were in front
rent.
of court commissioner, and I'm gonna guess he made you have a real hearing, and this is an even realer hearing. So you have to prove your case. I don't know anything about the case other than what's in the original filing. I don't know if there is a lease. I don't know if there's not a lease. I don't know what the payment is a month. I don't know if it's supposed to be free. I don't know if they haven't been paying. I don't know for what months they haven't been paying. I know nothing about this case.
Yeah, so what ended where the catalyst on this started was the last payment I received was in December of 2024. And when I got my property tax bill from the county in January, the amount was almost doubled. And I'm like, this is unusual. Let me look. And so I looked, and then the water and garbage bill had not been paid by the Cherries uh, since I think second quarter of 2024. So I sent them a letter, and I said I'm going to have to increase your rent to 875 starting in January to cover the past utility bills not being paid and the uh, and future ones. I had the counties send it to our properties as opposed to them, so I didn't incur this huge bill every single year. They didn't respond at that point in time. Rent stopped being paid, and prior to that, Kim used to work for me, and so I would do a rent deduction out of her paycheck. But then in December of 23, uh, she had to quit for health reasons.
Okay, again, all I know now is that rent went up January 2024 to cover utility bills that weren't paid and utility bills for the future, water, garbage, bills not paid. December 2023, she quit working for you to get the rent reduction for health reasons, but I know nothing else.
And we had a lease that was signed in
So you can better understand, it's like English class. Who, what, where, when, and why. I need to know all of those things.
um, I mean, our lease was signed, if memory serves, in 22, in May of 22, which was good for a year. And at that point in time, it would go month to month.
Okay, so I have the duration of the lease.
And I mean, I guess I don't know what else to add. I don't know what I can provide to you to show that they haven't made rent payments. I'm not evicting
Well,
because
I've not even heard that they haven't. I've heard, well, they haven't paid, but who, what, when, where, and why?
okay, so Stan and Kim Cherry have not paid Sucetic Properties since December. A rent payment at that time was $600. They have not made any payments since December of 2024.
All right, so it's been a whole year that you have not received any rent, plus they didn't pay for the water, the water and the garbage bill.
Correct.
Now, did you provide them with any notice to vacate, any right to cure?
Well, I tried to evict in September. It was after I had received a text in July from Kim saying, I know we're behind, I've been really sick, and I'm not uncompassionate to that. She's like, we'll get caught up. We've had other pieces of property um, taken back for not making payments on cars of things of that nature. So I said, okay, I'll be a little patient. Um, and then in September, I just had I my patience had run out. So I tried to do this in September. Um, and I was told by my attorney I didn't have to attend that hearing. So I missed it, which was again my fault. So I redid it in October, which got us to where we were at in November. So they did know this was coming.
Did you do the proper written 5-day notice to vacate?
I was told at this point in time, because it had been so long, I didn't have to do that.
Who told you that?
My attorney here in Hayward.
Well, he's not your attorney for this case.
No, he was just
Sure.
advising me.
Yeah,
He
there are
said this
certain
is
legal requirements that you have to do and you have to comply with when you are trying to evict somebody.
I was unaware of that.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Cherry, what's going on?
Well, first of all, my wife did not quit her job. She was on medical leave. And then she did try to call and get a hold of Ron about getting her job back. And
Well,
he refused to, he never contacted her back or anything like that, so.
I had a thing,
I only need one person, only one person can talk at a time, and then the other person can talk after.
And as far as the water and sewer bill, Your Honor, we were trying to get help to get that paid up through some public assistance. And there was some work that we did to the property. We called up Mr. Sadetsky and told him about some things that were broken and needed to be fixed. And he said, well, you're behind, so we're not paying, I'm not sticking any more money into this property. And we were trying to get caught up, and so I had to spend the money that I was gonna send him to fix everything that needed to be fixed. Like, the hot water heater went out and I had to totally rebuild the hot water heater. I have photos. The garage roof collapsed, and I have a lot of tools in there. And my tree trimming service stuff that I had, and I didn't want the rest of the roof collapsing on the my stuff, so I paid for all the lumber and labor and everything to fix that. There was another shed that a branch fell on because of the snow. And And I didn't want to get blamed for have to pay for that, so I used money to fix that.
I just, Mr. Susidic, did you at any time at all provide written eviction notice to the Cherries?
Not prior to filing the first eviction in September. Through the
What do you
court.
mean not prior to? So you don't have to give it to the court. You have to legally give the tenants a written eviction notice.
Oh, the one that the sheriff's department has right now in their hands?
I don't
The
know.
writ that was.
Oh, no, that's the writ. I need
Yeah,
the 5-day notice to evict. Did you ever give them something, either serve them or bring it to the property and say, Mr. and Mrs. Cherry, you must legally evict. I'm giving you 5 days. This is your 5-day notice to pay or vacate.
The sheriff has that, and I have not coordinated with them a time to do that.
No, 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 no. You have to do that before you start eviction proceedings against an individual. Is this your only rental property?
It is in this capacity, yes.
I would re-talk to your lawyer. Or read
Okay.
landlord tenant laws. Unless there's something special and fancy about this eviction or this relationship, which I don't know because I know very little about this arrangement, about this lease. You have to legally provide them written notice, and there's statutes that explain this. Wisconsin chapter 704 goes over the duties of a landlord, the duties of a tenant, what happens when you have repairs or you believe it's untenable, what happens when you need to evict somebody.
I guess I wasn't aware that I had to give a 5-day notice prior to going to the court, the clerk of courts, to get this paperwork filled out.
And I know nothing about the lease. I don't know if there is a month-to-month extension provision in there. I don't know if it extends yearly. I know you said it went month to month, but I don't know if you're saying that written agreement expired and now you're just going off of an oral month to month.
I mean, I provided the court a copy of the lease.
Again, you have to
When I
present
filed
that
the
to me.
paperwork.
I don't read it.
I'm sorry?
You have to present that to me. I don't read it otherwise. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if you want to offer that as evidence. This
I
is
would
your
like to
case
offer
that
it.
you have to present to the court. It's your burden to prove.
Okay, I guess I'll have to go through this process again because unfortunately my attorney did not give me good advice on how to handle this. He just said to me, they haven't paid in a year. It goes month to month automatically. And if they haven't paid, then you've got go to the clerk of courts, fill out this paperwork to evict.
You still have to give them a notice an eviction notice.
Okay, and I was unaware that I had to give something.
You have a
then go to the
computer?
clerk. Yes.
Pull up Wisconsin statute 704.17, notice terminating tenancy for failure to pay rent or other breach of tenant. That tells you exactly what you need to do. Month to month and week to week tenancies. That would be paren 1P paren A. If a month to month tenant or a week to week tenant fails to pay rent when due, the tenant's tenancy is terminated if the landlord gives the tenant notice requiring the tenant to pay rent or vacate on or before a date at least 5 days after giving of the notice, and if the tenant fails to pay accordingly.
Okay.
A month-to-month tenancy is terminated if the landlord, while the tenant is in default in payment of rent, gives the tenant notice requiring the tenant to vacate on or before at least 14 days after giving the notice. That means with a month-to-month, you need a 14-day eviction notice. You need to give them written notice that you are intending to evict them, and you need to give them 14 days notice.
Okay. So the process that I did with the clerk did not serve that purpose then?
Not as a
So
landlord,
it's,
no. What you did
Okay.
is you said, I want to have a court action. I want the court to hear my eviction. But there's still things that you must do and follow in order to be able to have, to do it properly, to go through the clerk to get that hearing and everything. You need to give them an eviction notice. Google it right now. Google 14-day eviction notice. It'll tell you what to do. Google's your friend.
Yeah.
And so now we're in a quandary here because quite honestly, I have a landlord, hasn't got paid in a year. And it doesn't, the law doesn't care, quite honestly. If you're ill, you're not ill. You haven't paid in a year. Is that fair?
Well, Your Honor, I do have proof that I have stuck money into the property.
And that's fine too. I can point you to this part of the statute that you're not doing it correctly either. There's things that both landlords and tenants need to follow and do in order to be able to be cured or in order to be able to win on their claims. To have rent reduced and whatnot, it has to be a certain process. But we're here right now with the landlord who apparently you got along with well once because you worked for him. Then you stopped paying. Why did you stop paying rent?
We just got behind with her being sick and everything, Your Honor. It just, and then we lost her car, so I had to buy another car so I could get her back and forth to chemo. And now she's, on palliative care right now, but.
And I get that, and I have
Soon she's gonna be
compassion.
going
I
on the
understand that.
hospice. And I'm trying my best. I'm trying to get everything out of the house myself. Me and my son, I'm trying to get my camper going, so if we do get evicted, she has a place to stay. I only have so much stuff I can sell that people will give me money for so I can pay.
Why aren't you working?
I'm on disability, ma'am.
How much do you make a month in disability?
He makes he makes 1018, ma'am.
Well,
And
600 of it should have been going to rent or utilities or something of that nature.
We have been paying our light bill and I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to get help through the county and state with the back, all their back bills. I'm trying to get a loan through FA. I do qualify, but for a loan through FMHA, I guess, but I have to get my debt. I'm paying out too much right now and I have to get that down in order to fully get the loan.
And I understand that, but I'm going to tell you, your debt is here. Your debt is here.
And
Mr. Susidik is not your bank.
right, I understand that, ma'am.
And it's been over a year now, since December 2024.
And like I said, my wife tried to go back to work, but when she was able to, and he never called her back. He never let us know that she didn't have a job either.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't really find that credible. I don't. Because you would have kept calling him and saying, why am I not getting the rent reduction? What's going on? Why can't I get back to work? And it's been at least a year. So I have a quandary here because I don't have the proper legal requirements done by the landlord in order to legally evict. But I have a landlord here who hasn't gotten paid in over a year.
And I'm trying, I even asked if I could, last time we were here, if I could have some time to get caught up. And I can, if I have to, I'll get some payday loans or whatever, if I have to get them paid up. And he said, even then we wouldn't be able to stay, even if we got them paid up.
So you never received a written eviction notice.
No, ma'am.
So Mr. Susadik, there is this problem here. You haven't been paid,
Understood.
but you haven't went through the process to legally evict them. The law requires you to do certain things and they haven't been done. If it's a month to month, and again, I'm not looking at the lease, I'm not looking at all of that, I'm just going off of the little bit that I have here. It's a 14-day eviction notice, which provides they can either pay up to date to 14-day to stay, or they vacate. Then you're able to file for an eviction.
Understood.
And it's not the clerk's job to ask to make sure that you've done everything legally correct before they give you the documents to file for an eviction.
I understand that. Yep, that's on it's my attorney.
So, Mr. Susadik, do you think that you can speak with and talk to the Cherries and try and figure something out? Otherwise, you know what to do. There's the law. I gave you all the law. I gave you both the chapter, Wisconsin chapter that you have to look at. And it'll tell you all that you need to do. If you're trying to deduct rent due to things that you've done, it shows you what you need to do in order to be able to have that be viable. It shows Mr. Susadik what he needs to do in order to properly evict you. But I'm telling you right now, and I think he's heard pretty clear, all he needs is 14 days to give you that written notice, and then he can come and evict you again. But is that what we're really looking at doing, or do we want to try and figure out a solution?
I mean, I don't see how they can get caught up in rent and make current payments going forward, so I will do the proper steps on my end.
All right, so you have to figure it out, Mr. Cherry. You have to figure something out, because right now, and just if I look at the summons and complaint, Mr. Susadik was alleging that there was $6,774.80, and that's, I'm gonna guess, from date of filing.
Yes.
So that's a lot to have to try and come up with in order to bring yourself current. So as of right now, I'm denying the eviction. And so I'm canceling the writ, vacating the writ. You don't have time, Mr. Cherry, but you have to figure something out.
I only have like about 4 loads left in the house to get out, and then my stuff in the garage.
Well, if you vacate, then he's not going to be able to, or he won't need to evict you, but he still can come after you for the amount owed.
I do have proof that I stuck money into it, but I won't get credit for that.
Well, again, read the statute and see what you needed to do or what you need to do that, but I can't give you that advice. I can't go over all of it with you. I just pointed you both in the right direction, what to read and what to look at. Okay? Right.
Ma'am, is there any way, excuse me, is there any way that the hearing in January 29th at 2 o'clock that we could have you instead of the commissioner?
I don't know what, oh, the money judge, oh, that's taken off. That's done.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't even, that's dismissed as well.
No, okay. I just want to make sure so we don't show up and.
Don't show up on the 29th. That's dismissed as well.
Exactly. So if we get everything paid up to date,
Gonna have to talk to Mr. Susadik about that. His property. All right,
and how much do we exactly owe?
Mr. Susadik, do they owe anything beyond that $6,774.80?
Plus the now December rent of $875.
Plus an addi-
I was told it went up to $800, not
Well,
$875.
I don't know. I have to get off the record because my court reporter is keeping on working. So you guys need to work this out. Mr. Susadik and Mr. Cherry, why don't you have a conversation? Because it seems like you both need to figure something out. Because Mr. Susadik, I would tell you that if he has the intention of them moving out within 14 days, it'll save you some money from refiling and some hassle. So a phone
Okay.
call could be worth a lot for the both of you.